And we're back here. So I turned the volume of the game up a little more because I realized that my crappy microphone isn't necessarily the only thing you want to be listening to. So as for where we are right now, still keen on getting third religion here, which means I need to catch this person. They have 3 points per turn. I have 5.7, so I should be able to pass them quite easily here because we're both sitting at about 40. Thing is, I'm debating here because I'm about to hit mysticism and I'll get this revelation great prophet points card, which is really nice. I'd like to put that in there because it will get us to religion even faster, regardless of whether or not we're trying to beat somebody. It is nice to just get it really fast, that we can get up and running, get those early bonuses going. The thing is, I'm sorry. I was gonna say the other thing about it is that once the Great Prophet appears, you get a free switch. Does that make sense? So if you run this card that gives you +2 Great Prophet points, and you get a Great Prophet, that card becomes irrelevant, right? But the thing is, at the same turn that you get the Prophet, it will let you switch your policies, switch away this card for free, and it'll actually let you switch all your policies. So it's like a free swap, which is kind of nice. So it's kind of like there's really no downsides to sticking in there and rushing the Great Prophet out, because then it's not like you're wasting a slot really most of the time. There's because then you just get a free swap once it's over. But anyway, I also am kind of fighting these barbarians right now, so I really don't want to swap out discipline. And I kind of wish I'd possibly gone autocracy. People kind of think that autocracy is the weakest of the three. But the thing is, because it seems not very synergistic, because you're getting 2 military slots and wonder production. So you're kind of like, why would I be building a military and a wonder at the same time? Because those are both big investments. And that is absolutely true. But you can kind of plan around it. Like, you can build your army very early, so that way you're not really using those. You're not building units later. You're just using bonuses like maintenance reduction and barb fighting. Yes, you're gonna have you don't have that many great options for military slots at the beginning. Like, I don't know, pillaging, but that's not too exciting. But you can the underrated aspect, I think, actually is the +1 to all yields. That's everything. That's 1 culture, 1 science, 1 faith, 1 gold, 1 production, 1 food. Like, when you put it that way, that's quite a lot, especially when you only have 2 cities going. So I kind of wish I had gone autocracy, maybe, or oligarchy, because that way I could have both the military card slot and the wild card slot, which is kind of what I wish I had. Because yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna go ahead and not worry about it too much. I think I'm just going to rush archery, because I really just want it right now. And what I was trying to do is get this singer over here to get a kill. But that's going to be real tricky with these with this boat here. And honestly, it's not that much science at this point. I'm not saving that much by getting that kill. It's only 2 turns of a very small tech. So I'm going to cut my losses and just go ahead and get archers, because that will make my life so much easier when I have a solid early game unit to defend my borders from barbs like this. We have a chance if I bring this over here and it sort of fights the warrior, and then I could maybe finish it with the slinger. But the thing is, I still would really like to put in revelation right now, so I'm just going to do this. One thing I'm checking on is this builder. So when you're considering what cards to put in, it's valuable to consider when your next swap will be. So my next swap won't be for quite a while here. I'm probably not gonna get any of these 3 boosts. I probably will get military tradition fairly soon because I'm eventually gonna make my way down here and clear this. I just need to make sure I have an archer or 2 ready. But as for, I don't have any plans to build a wonder, and I never get this. I don't know if you're different than me. I never get construction before I get games in rec. Like, terracotta is pretty sweet, but it's pretty hard to get. Siege towers, I think I underutilize them. I've seen them be like really good, but still, it's kind of like out of your way to get this kind of cheesy like gimmicky unit, rather than, you know, your archers or whatever else you need, or your districts. So I also don't really build watermills. So there's basically all these reasons that like I never get construction that fast. And also it's nice to rush this because Colosseum is an excellent wonder. It's actually super good. It's one of the best in the game. Absolutely. So it's worth rushing. So I almost never get that. But anyway, my point being, my original point was I'm not going to get a swap anytime soon. And I only have like 2 turns left on this builder right now. Or let's put it as, what, I have 20 production left. 2 turns, regardless of, probably regardless of my policy. So, if I'm only going to be using this card for 2 turns, it's not really worth it, because I'm not going to have a swap for at least, like, 10 turns. Hopefully that makes sense. So, what am I going to build after? I'm trying to build the units. So I think I might bite the bullet here and actually swap my policies right now. Because I kind of regret, like Classical Republic, I often get that as kind of a default because the 2 economic policies is really nice, and the people points are nice, and the amenity is kind of a very solid economic growth government. But as I said, I can recap this one more time. The general game plan with this civ, at least the one that I've sort of theory crafted so far, is you quickly get a religion, because that's vital. Then you build units, you try to conquer somebody. And then you go down the bottom of the tech tree here, because that's all military techs, and you get engineering. And when you have engineering, then you stop building units, and you conquer as much as you can with what you have. And you, you can probably throw in some catapults, that always helps. But then you go ahead and found more cities with aqueducts, because this civ gets very strong bonuses to aqueducts. And after you do that, you can continue just building economically until about when you're crossing into the medieval era, and then you want to rush military engineering and then abuse your unique unit. That's kind of the general plan. So basically right now I'm morphing into that build units mode. Not quite yet, because I need to finish my encampment first. I like to build just one encampment, and then I don't really bother with the barracks or anything until I get this large bonus, because it doesn't make that much of a difference, frankly. Like a barracks, maybe you disagree with me, but like the point is nice. Like 25% is nice, but it's not great. Like, the housing's kind of nice. But, like, I can wait. Like, I can wait a little bit and just build the barracks with that massive boost later. Like, that's fine. Or a stable or whatever I need. So I just like to build a vanilla encampment. Why bother at all, you might ask? Because this boost is really nice to get, because it gets me towards the barracks and everything, and gets me an envoy, gets me up into military training. And most of all, it's kind of about getting a general, because generals are very, very powerful boost to your army. Because first of all, they stack. And second of all, they often have a very good, retirement bonus, retirement power, whatever you want to call it. Like, this one gives you a free great work. That never hurts. Some of them are even better than that, though. Like, the best ones are, because, like, the funny thing is on Deity, like, sometimes the AI gets so far ahead of you that the great people are kind of like later era great people, because that is a thing. Like, at least for generals. I'm not sure about the other ones. I think no, they definitely scale like by era as well. Like for example, you get like you're not going to get the great scientist that gives you like a space bonus in the ancient era, like obviously. But generals, they do scale, so they kind of change per era which ones you get. I mean, like, yeah, it's explicitly written out here underneath the names of the, like, great engineer is currently on medieval. But anyway, my original point is sometimes the AI gets really far ahead of you, and so the general goes to, like, medieval era general, like, very quickly. And so very quickly you can get a general that, like, gives you a knight, and you can get it, like, in the ancient era, so you have this, like, knight running around at, like, turn 25, and it's pretty cool. And it happens again. There's another one that gives you a tank. If you get that very early because you're behind, you can get a very fast tank, and it just like shreds the whole field while it's like fighting like, you know, horsemen or something. Not horsemen, cavalry or whatever. So that can be pretty funny. Anyway, I'm doing this classic thing where I take like 15 minutes. It's like an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where like it takes like 20 minutes to do one turn. So I do want to swap into oligarchy. Oligarchy is the go-to. Like more, yeah, autocracy gives you 2 military slots, but let's be honest, +4 combat strength for land melee and 20% experience is what you need for what the hell is going on? Is what you need for military. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to finish my profit quickly. I already talked about the builder bonus. And I'm still fighting barbarians, but I really just need to start building units right after my encampment finishes. And again, I don't know how soon I'll be able to swap. So I'm just going to go ahead and well, actually, you know what I talked about earlier is I get a free swap when I get my profit, which actually will probably be my next swap. So I probably could have left in the barbarian bonus. Oh well, live and learn. Monasteries, eh? There's another city state that gives you colossal head improvements, which is kind of cool. Give me 1 second here. I do think, like, I think it's worth it for me to give me 4 faith. That's pretty significant. And I don't have any other districts, so it's not like I need to boost my, like, theater squares or whatever. I mean, maybe... Ooh, Valletta's in this game. You know what? Valletta's pretty dope. Like, it lets you buy city center buildings, encampment buildings, and walls with faith. You're thinking, like, that's kind of weird, but here's the thing. It's, like, super cheap. It's, like, on quick speed, it's, like, 60 faith. Like, half a missionary's worth of faith for like a granary or a watermill or a monument. Like, so if you found a city, you can just like bam bam bam, like really quickly put in a bunch of 4 buildings with faith, and it's really powerful. And the walls are really cheap too. And walls, especially if you get this early, because you can build walls quite quickly with defensive tactics, but it's kind of hard to get unless you're being attacked. Or like, it's hard to boost this, and you kind of, oftentimes you're in a position where you're like, crap, I really need some walls right now. And we're going to have plenty of faith to work with, because we're building, you know, we're building holy sites, so I'm hoping I can take advantage of Valletta. I'd really like to get suzerain with them. Admiral, eh? I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. It's a bit of a tall order. We'll see. I mean, I'm going to build a harbor here. A really interesting question in Civ is, this is actually a really interesting topic, is harbors versus commercial districts. Because if you didn't know, this is really important if you didn't know this, you can only get 1 trade route slot per city. So you can only either get a harbor or a commercial district. You can only get 1 trade route from both of them. Does that make sense? So you either can get a trade route from a harbor or from a commercial district. So if you build both, you only get 1 trade route. And trade routes are the main reason to build either of those districts. The exception is England, which they patched later. Like, that wasn't true at first, but they patched it in later because England was garbage, and now they're much better. But I'm not sure they updated like when they first patched it in, they did not update the Civilopedia or anything. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, they still I'm starting to doubt. I remember when they patched that in. They still have not, like, this is still like a secret. It's like their best bonus, and it's like a secret in the Civilopedia. So you have to read the patch notes. So England gets 2, which is super good because those districts are really powerful. But anyway, this is a really interesting topic, right? So, commercial district versus harbor. Same cost to build, whatever. Both give you a, both give you a trade route. In terms of their adjacency bonuses, and their, like, internal buildings, right? So, market, 3 gold, eh. Bank, 5 gold, that's a little better. 8 gold so far from our internal buildings. And another 7 here, right? So that's 8 plus 7, that's 15 gold if you build all 3 buildings in there. On top of your basic, you know, district. Harbors. You build a lighthouse. It gets you a boost to naval units. It gives you plus food in all coast tiles, which is really good. It gives you a housing, another food, and a gold. So that's already, like, way better so far. Shipyard. Production equal to the gold adjacency, which can be pretty awesome. And even better naval units. And what's the last one? It's pretty far up here, right? Seaport or something? 2 gold in all coast tiles. Another housing, 2 gold, and 2 food. So far, it seems like, damn, like, I always want harbors, right? And that is probably true. Mainly because it buffs all these tiles. Like, it'll eventually put me at, like, it'll make a vanilla coast tile into a 2-3, which is not bad. And it'll make resources very powerful. And the best is if you have God of the Sea and you meet Auckland, which gives you, and if you're suzerain of Auckland, you get +1 production per coast tile, which is pretty sweet. And you're saying to yourself, ooh, I always want a harbor. Like, harbors are great. But, listen to me. When you meet a mercantile city-state, it is really, really easy to, you don't need to be suzerain to get 6 envoys. All you need is to get envoys, which you're always going to get. Even if you're not suzerain, even if you don't have any special bonus like Muscat's bonus, you will get +8 gold in every commercial district. So all of a sudden, every commercial city-state I find will give me +8 gold per hub. So let's say there are 3 commercial city-states in the game, which is pretty common. That's not a tall order by any means. Depending on the size of the game, which is actually an interesting thought. But anyway, that would be, what did I say? 8, 16, 24 gold per turn in every commercial hub. So all of a sudden, we're going from +15 gold from all the buildings and everything to what? +39 gold? And that's pretty freaking insane. So I'm getting +39 gold for every commercial hub. And all of a sudden, the harbor is like, oh, maybe, all of a sudden you're like, oh, commercial hubs, dang, those are pretty sweet. And the last thing that's really important is that great merchants are way better than great admirals. Like, great merchants are the best great people, definitely, which I really love, because in Civ 5, great merchants were like trash. Like, the funny thing was in Civ 5, if you built like great scientists, great merchants, and great engineers were all connected. So if you built one of them, you would slow down the other 2. So you would literally only ever build great scientists 100% of the time with all civs. Like, maybe sometimes occasional engineer if you're trying to rush a wonder. But like great merchants were kind of just a joke. Like, and now they did really great things, like an extra. This is just a classical era one, and it gives you a permanent trade route capacity. and +2 gold for all your trade routes that are foreign for the rest of the game. Like, that's pretty sweet for a classical era merchant, and some of them are insane. Like, the best one, probably the best great person in the game is Adam Smith, a great merchant, and Adam Smith gives you a permanent economic policy slot. So it's literally just like a free Big Ben, which is insanely good. You know, that's much better than like, hey James of St. George, thanks for the walls, bro. I'd rather have my economic policy slot. But my original point, right, is harbors versus commercial districts. And yes, great admirals are good for naval warfare. You want to have them, but they're just pale in comparison to the power of merchants. So as I went over, in terms of like, it kind of depends on how many commercial city-states there are in the game. And it kind of depends on the amount of coastal tiles you have. And like what your plans are for navy, like in terms of commercial versus harbor. Because you need to have like plenty of good coast to justify a harbor. Whereas like, if there's a bunch of commercial city-states, like, they give you so much gold that like you kind of have to take that. So it's something to consider, and you can do some math, right? Like, I don't know, like, wow, I don't know if I'm ever going to be, like, my city would have to be massive for me to work flat, or plain water without Auckland or anything like that. So I'm not really going to be working these coasts. Like, so if I get gold from coast tiles, I'm still not really going to be working like a 2-3 tile here, or a 2-0-3 tile. So I'm not really going to take advantage of that gold, whereas I'm always going to get the gold from the commercial hubs. So it's just something to think about. It's not as nearly as straightforward as it might seem, like, oh, if I'm the coast, I always want a harbor. So I need a quarry, but I can't get one, so I'm just going to go ahead and get that tech anyway. First, I'm going to get irrigation. Monastery. I forget how these work. I think it's like a... No, is it? It's not a 4. I'm thinking of something else. Oh, it heals religious units? That's so interesting. So here's my like little take on unique improvements. I actually like them. Even like 2 Faith is kind of crappy, but like... I don't like farms. Like, I always say this, right? Like, I don't care about food. Look, I have 1 farm right now. And this thing is about to be housing capped. Like, who cares about food? And I haven't even, like... I don't even know where this trade route is. Like, is this trade route... Okay, so it's getting a trade route, but I could always... I'm going to easily get more trade routes. Trade routes will feed it. I could build a farm if I really needed one, but I don't. And I haven't even built, like, a watermill or anything like that. I don't like food. So, I mean, I don't care that much about food, so I don't care much about farms. So I kind of like to put, like, stuff like this on flatland instead of a farm. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to put it on a hill, because mines are amazing. But I'm probably, even if it's kind of crappy, like +2 Faith or whatever, I'm still probably going to put it on a flat tile. Maybe I'll want like a triangle of farms, you know, like that way I make sure I have plenty of food. But it's not that hard to have plenty of food, as I've said many times. So maybe I could put a triangle here and a triangle there. And then just kind of spam monasteries everywhere else. Like here. Alright, let's finish that encampment. Apadana I'm a big fan of. If you're going for like a cultural victor and you're spamming wonders, which is pretty much what you want to be doing. I have this amazing France game going, like, on my own. I think I might, like, show it. I think I might just make a little clip showing this, like, actually the best start I've ever gotten in Civ. Like, it's insane. I don't think I'm going to boost either of these. I will boost this, and I mean, I kind of want this now. I'm a little torn. I can wait a little bit. I can try to take this barb camp first. But I really want to get up here. Because it's really important to get theology as fast as you can if you're getting religion. Because you need that temple to get your apostles, which is what allows you to upgrade your religion. And you want to upgrade as fast as possible so you can get the best beliefs. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, build me a monastery. It will be glorious. Actually, I'm going to be building a campus there, aren't I? I've gotten so late. I used to, like, be the pin master. Like, I would pin everything. Now I'm really lazy. I just, like, try to remember. I like to use... What is it? The sun for campuses, because you, like, enlighten yourself. You, like... The light of truth comes from science. I don't know. You can do whatever you want. You know what? To hell with this right now. I mean, to hell with this monastery. Like, what am I? Why bother, right? So I'm glad I got that granary going. I would like a shrine. Makes sense to me. I mean, I'm trying to build troops. I could start building troops because I have the tech, and I think I will do that because I don't know if I need this shrine. Like, it's not particularly urgent, you know. It's important to get your units out quickly. So this thing's like about to be housing capped without this trade route even running, and then so is this one. This one's about to hit 4. Not exactly capped, like, yeah, like, it has one more to go, but, like, it's such an investment to, like, squeeze out the last housing. The housing cap, it's almost, like, it's just silly. Like, I'm not gonna, like, force the issue, like, spam food here just to get one more population. So I kind of just don't worry about it. If I'm at, like, 8 out of 9, like, that's fine. So I'm making decisions, like, the food is pretty much irrelevant. So do I want 1 production? Or do I want 1 production and 3 gold? Or 3 gold and 1 culture? And I think I want the production, so... Although, if I'm planning on attacking non-Madal, maybe I want the road there. Honestly, that's good enough. Like, yeah, I'd prefer the production over 1 culture right now, but the road is enough of a reason. Like, it's so minor that the road is enough of a reason. Damn it. So I have yet to meet a civ. So what I don't know, man. That's so weird. We're very isolated. Maybe there's like a massive civ here. It's just like Sumeria with like plus 50. This thing might die. It'll take 1 hit. 1, 2, 3. And then it should be able to get away. I just haven't been able to get it out there. And if you're wondering, the reason I moved this trade route over here is because look at the culture. Like 5 culture here. This one has only 1. And since I'm getting... Ooh, never mind. Maybe I should do this. Do I really care? I don't have any commercial hubs. I don't really need to get here. One mistake... Oh, I can get plus 2 production. I'm going to stick to my... original plan here. So one mistake that new players make is they spend their envoys immediately. But look, I have 1 envoy, but I can't do anything with 1 envoy, right? Like this, who cares? 1 to 2 does nothing. 1 to 2 does nothing. 3 to 4 does nothing. So, and I don't have to spend it. So I want to wait until it means something, because I'm not sure what I want yet. Like I'm about to build encampments, so I probably want to boost my encampments, but I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I'll go ahead and build some commercial hubs. Maybe I'm like, I need some faith, or maybe I'll get like a quest, and that will boost me. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't spend your envoys immediately. That's really important. You know what I could have done was build slingers, spam slingers, and upgrade them. That probably would have been better. I was just kind of worried about this barbarian encampment, like triggering and attacking me while I had like one warrior and one slinger, because that's no fun. And that can really disrupt you in the early game. Yes, promote my love. Yes, profit. Okay, they what the hell is going on? Where's this like fourth person? I think what happened is they have this logic built into them. Wait a minute. What's going on? I'm so confused. There was someone. Oh no, it's gone. So what happens is the AI has this logic in it, where it likes to steal great people, because that's a mechanic that everybody forgets about, because like you have to go here and check it constantly, if you even have faith. Like, yeah, I could steal this. I could buy this great person with 550 faith, and if I was close to it, it would be way cheaper. So it is a nice mechanic. The AI like has a logic built into it, so it always does that. So it always likes to steal the fourth prophet, which is so annoying, because it's so annoying to get to get the last religion sometimes, that it's just like, why? It's like the final kick in the face, like, oh, you tried so hard to get a religion as like Spain or whatever, you didn't even get one, like, screw you. Alright, what I'd really like to do is, I don't want a spearman, go away. So I don't know what the ancient Khmer worshipped, but we're going to be the cow. Actually, we're going to be the crab people. We could be the burger boys. So I do want to spread this, right? Holy hell. All the beliefs are like... Wait a minute. I'm so confused. Is this a founder belief? Or a follower belief? I think this is follower. Am I wrong? I'll be right back to solve this issue in the next video.